line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up.
It's a beautiful day here in Sonoma, California. Here today, as we see today, the action of Citadel Rallycross back on the show, and their heated contentions to try to knock down one tough hombre in the top spot of them all. But with a track like this, anything can be thrown out of the waters and into the playing field. Hi everyone, I am the Crusader. Christian Trower joining you guys here today. Sonoma, California, Sonoma Raceway is next up on our lineup here today as the Citadel Rallycross drivers come back roaring onto the track. With a track that loves to test some guys' patience as much as they'll test their drive. As you can even see now just how difficult some of these corners may catch some of these talented guys offline and off throws. It's a place that really brings out the best and the toughest drivers when they want to fire it off and give it everything they can. Going to be interesting to see how they all fight in and try to work their way around the track here. As we currently get ready to go down into the playing field here. Currently we are getting set on the action, set on the spotlight, and it sounds like I'm having some technical difficulties because the spotters and my drivers on the track are accidentally bumping into my stream here. My bad. We got that fixed up. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. Qualifying will begin here in just a little bit. A 5-minute qualifying session for the drivers. As we got about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. Let's take a look at our Track Tech Talk presented in part by our friends at Citadel Rallycross. Sonoma Raceway, well, I mean, best way to put it, it's a turning course. You got a few couple of weird little hiccup ends, and you got the really tight corner 90-degree sharp end turns on the final legs of the halfway point entering into the finish. That long straightaway, though, you see, that's where you're going to see a lot of action kind of tossed in, because where you don't see is the Joker lap actually mixed in there. It's a straight surface shot down to the right side, literally about a 45x. You can see it right there on your end. You can see where the dirt is. That's where the drivers will be mainly going through first foremost, but that jump in the dirt also being a bit of a scrabble and a hassle for some guys. If they bounce off them wrong, that Joker lap could come into very big effect and end up costing some guys the top honors, the top rides. It's going to be interesting to see how they all play out and how they all situate this one up here on the track with only about a minute and a half left to go. Just getting a look at the drivers right now and how they're playing this out. Marcos Palacio, the 83 driver right now, currently moving a Fisher Disc Golf machine, Fisher Sport car, the Subaru. Actually, everyone driving a Subaru except for Armand Bruzo. He'll be driving the Ford Fiat today. No Volkswagens, though, in this race, so a bit of a sad statement there. I would have expected a few of them. Andre Vernon Spulser saying from track to announcer. Well, Andre, you want to go that route, sure. So I guess now I got to explain that on camera. So for those that don't know, I live in Iowa, and Newton, Iowa is about a 45-minute drive from where I live. So you could probably guess what was in town, which was IndyCar. The NTC IndyCar series was actually in town. I had tickets to go see it, so I did see it. I watched Tim McGraw out on concert before the race. It was pretty cool. The race itself, long story short, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10 for the fact that it was my first IndyCar race, and overall, very fun to watch. Really wasn't a dull moment, and it was so quick, so, but really it's kind of hard to take in. I don't know how some of you IndyCar fans really can take that stuff in and really get so excited to catch with these guys, because a lot of these guys are going so fast, I can barely keep up with them. Then again, maybe I'm just used to the beating and bang of the old NASCAR days, as well as a Citadel Rallycross style racing, so who knows, but that's just me for you. But yes, if you hear me kind of choke on a few words here, it's because I've got a cooked up face. Thankfully, I don't broadcast with my face on these calls, so you don't have to see my red tomato face today, and thankfully, which honestly, it is burnt up pretty good, I'll say. Anyway, now practice laps have ended. It's time to enter into the qualifying session. And so far, Luis Nunez really unfazed and unchallenged. But Marcos Palacio and TJ Staver are looking to change that. Trenton Briley also coming up on the show here, as well as a few of our top hitters as well. We'll see how they all play out. Alexander Ebedy making his return back to the show, so good to see him back out here. As the field now marks their way around the track, it's time for qualifying. Heat number 1 coming up after qualifying. Armand Bruzo, the number 911, will be the first one out of the bunch in the Ford Fiat. It looks like he's going to try and set his corner up early. He's going to try to build the speed from the Joker lap down into the sharp right. Brings it right into this spot here. What a little bit of a drive. Power sliding it down into the first set of corners. Turn 1. Here comes turn number 2, 3, and 4 popping up. The slippery slope will get him a little bit cockeyed. That's going to all depend on how he handles the track here. Swings it nice and sweet through, but now has that tricky little drive on turn right, and doesn't get it to turn, so that will cost him precious time. No momentum gain for him. Here comes the man that everyone wants to knock off that totem pole, the number 14, out of Spain, Luis Nunez, and the Logitech number 14 Subaru is now on the clock. I don't think there's anybody on this show that does not want to try to one-up him and take him down today, and I think he's looking to get that settled up right here and now. We'll see how his lap plays out and how he starts on the qualifying grid. Right now, Alexander Poteet, your fastest of the bunch, with Trenton Briley getting a good lap out of that one too. Luis Nunez, though, about ready to finish this lap, needs to send it to the final corner. Good corner off, jump, lands it smooth as silk there. Number 14 down the front straightaway. The drag race to the end on the actual drag strip, and it's an 1/1800 of a second faster finish for the number 14 Luis Nunez. Nunez once more will take top honors from qualifying. Seth French, Alexander Poteet taking second and third respectively. Poteet going in second, French in third. Nicholas Shriver looking to try to get a top 5 out of this one. Lays down a lap. And he'll go with the 6th fastest, was about 600ths off Armand Bruzo. Bruzo laying down his lap. TJ Staver now in the TG15 looking to try to get something going here and make Nunez's life a living something here. Trying to make it a little harder on him and not let him get too comfy, but that turn right there certainly will not help matters at all. Staver needs a good drive to the finish. And time is a top 5. A lot of that time lost, though, in that last corner. That certainly did not help his cause any. Marcos Palacio literally hammer down time now as he swings it through the corner, swings it through the track, trying to get the most speed. Oh, taking a cone there with him a little bit. I don't know if that's going to be a 5-second penalty or a disqualification in his qualifying lap. He's got to be careful about going off track. Remember, those laps don't count if you go off track here. Let's set it down to the final leg. Off the jump. Nice little smooth ride there to the finish. And this time we'll put him in the 6th slot. Marcos Palacio gets the 6th fastest of the drags. All drivers have now laid down their qualifying laps. This is all just for show. They're just getting a last-minute little practice session out of there. Just trying to see what they can bring up to the table with 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock here. So right now, looking at times-wise, and good to see some of the other cats out here like Alexander Ebedy returning to the show. Right now, the way I'm looking at this, I'm seeing Nunez probably be the favorite out of the gate, but These starts are about as wild and chaotic as they come. So, is that going to be a factor to help Alexander Ebony as well as Alexander Poteet and Seth French and TJ Stay? Remember, Ebony does have a win to his name, and he managed to get it off of Nunez, but ever since then as well, it's either been he either runs that Moonshiners and gets that win, or he ends up having to fight every single driver like a madhouse out here, worse than Bowman Gray Stadium, mind you. There is something I want to bring to your attention, though. We have a World Championship class licensed driver here today, Trenton Briley, actually in the number 10 Subaru as a championship driver in his own right. Got about a 5,912 I rating here, so not quite Luis Nunez's 7386, but that does beg the question, you know, is that going to be enough of talent, control, and speed to knock down a reigning champion in its own right of Luis Nunez? That remains to be the question, unsolved and unanswered. Well, race fans, here we are now set to go here. We will show you the results here in just a moment, as the field now will get squared back up into position here, back up onto the track. It's time to get ready for heat number 1. Here's your grading order for heat number 1. Starting on the pole, Luis Nunez is the number 1 man. Alexander Ebony will be in the 99 in second. Seth French will be in the 3rd slot, the number 54. Trenton Briley in the number 10. Here we'll see what the World Class Championship driver, licensed driver has in the 10. And then Nicholas Schreiber rounding him out in the 41. Here we go. Heat number 1, set to stage, set to the area. Ready to fire him off down into the corner distance. Green flag drops the hammer. The speeds are off. We're underway. Right through the edge here and down on the track slate. Nunez gets around Ebony and French out of the gate. But some bumping and banging there for Ebony right by the back end of the 14. Nunez trying to escape Ebony before he can enter into that corner. He knows what he'll try to do. It's Spain versus Germany entering turn 1. The German Ebony trying to make a drive in the Fisher Sport 99 already, looking for a runoff on the back end. Can't quite get the extended off the exit. Now has to try to reel him in again. Seth French here, the American, looking from behind, trying to keep the 54 also in target line of Nunez. Nunez hasn't ran away just yet. This seems to be a track that slates more speed and control. And the power of Nunez knows that turning courses are usually his style, but if you can give these guys a little bit of a straightaway, a little bit of an oval configuration, if you will, that might be the difference maker for some of these cats. Trenton Briley, number 10 right now, the TG machine hanging back and laying low, surprisingly here. I would have thought he would have tried to make some big moves, some big corner cuts out of the gate, but no, he's laying it off here for the moment. Possibly awaiting his time to strive and conquer. But Nunez right now conquering the field, conquering the drive off the edges here, as they now shift through the sharp end turns and through the final corners there down the chute. And it looks like Trenton, I'm not sure if Trenton was trying to go for the Joker or if he was actually just trying to set up for a drive off into the final corner there, but that was a mistake to say the least. Next driver moving up ahead. Right back from the Joker lap, didn't get any speed, didn't get any momentum off the rest of the cats, lost a lot of ground, and he knows they've got only just a couple more laps left before they'll even have to take their Jokers. Ebony swinging the 99 way wide there off the corner end here. I don't think that's exactly what he was expecting to do, as we're on board with the German. Ebony hanging thin, hanging it quick, trying to keep up, trying to stay with it. Nunez has already got a 2.5 second lead over French, and he's got about a second and a half lead in the second and 7 quarters now over Mr. Ebony. And more problems down there for the 41. Nicholas Schreiber here, not quite keeping himself in full range of full charge, and I think a lot of that may be due to the fact that just the inexperience of that cat and what he's been trying to do. He says he's been working so hard and trying to get better, but hasn't been able to figure it out. Nunez, though, I think he may have made a mistake down there, because now here comes Ebony taking control. And for the first time, Nunez's mistake costs him dearly. White flag is out. Nunez put behind the German. Ebony trying to get this one wrapped up. Nunes, what is this? He's driving it way wide off the corners. Is he losing ground? He is. He lost a little ground there. Got it back a little bit in the corners. Ebony needs to stay focused, keep the car straight, and hit his marks. Can he hang on and try to upset the Spaniard? Nunes has not lost very many races, much as he races. He's trying to hold on. He's got to get around the final exits, though. Trying to hang in. Nunes off the end. Down to the Joker. It's a drag race to finish between these two to the line. Nunes will take down Ebony with the Joker installed. And takes the entire barrier with him as the brakes locked up there on the number 14 Nunes. Ebony put on a great battle, though, to the end. Wow. A bit of a shocker there. A bit of a kind of a wild run there for some of these cats. That's how it all plays out sometimes, though. We'll have to see how it continues in. Heat 1 results now on your screen. Nunes almost getting upset by Ebony, but French, Riley, and Shriver will each have their stake in the next round. Next round's on the stake. 369 of Alexander Poteet, the 15 of TJ Staver, the 83 of Marcos Palacio, and the 911 of Armand Ruzo with Nicholas Lamb mixed in with the track. Heat number 2 now set to stage, set to go. Five laps to the distance here at Sonoma for heat number 2. Once again, we'll wrangle them off and down the front straightaway. It's a drag off to the drag race section. Here we go. Lights are down. Green is out. And it's hammer down time entering turn number 1. Staver, the advantage. Palacio on the end, on the left side, trying to make a drive. Can't quite drive it off there. Staver gets a good exit. Oh, boy, gets on 2 wheels there, exiting into turn 1. Final turns. Into the final turns. That was turn 2 of the start for them, but that's the final turn entering into the chute of the drag strip of Sonoma. And now the dash for the spots come that way. Poteet looking to make a move off on Palacio. Palacio trying to sneak away around the Fisher Sport 83 of Palacio. Poteet trying to get a move on in it, trying to drive quicker, trying to drive faster. Again, to get these tires to sink into that dirt is easier said than done. Getting it down the asphalt, not very hard. It's just a matter of patience and endurance. And these guys know it too well. Staver takes his Joker early. Palacio gets the hang time up with the jump. And Staver now with the commanding lead. Knows Palacio and Poteet will battle a little bit and gives him more of a chance to breathe. But he's got to stay focused. He cannot let his morale fall on just those guys. He needs to keep steady Eddie and keep his drive on charge. Armand Bruzzo in the 911 here trying to keep the Broach Scrub 911 machine ahead. Being ahead of the 37 Nicholas Lamb, the other Subaru driver here, trying to make a bit of a fight back here and move the chains up ahead. A little bit of a trouble though, getting the speed and getting the corners ripped around. Maybe just a little bit off center, a little bit off pace right now for him and this crew. 3 laps left to go here as we're now coming into the final legs here of heat number 2 once more. Of course, here the last chance qualifier, and then the warm-up will set our A main event up for these cats. And man, they have been either bumping and banging hard racing around, or they've been throwing each other to the wire, just trying to outclass the other. One wing is for sure though. We know who our favorites are right now. I'd say Staver, Nunes, and Ebony are going to be the 2 heavy hitters, or the 3 heavy hitters, excuse me, I can't count apparently, that are going to be really driving their tail ends off down on the next leg of our race. Poteet trying to get the Anime 369 up into the ground, up into the track, and you can see all that dust and dirt. Literally, don't adjust your television screens. That's literally the dirt and grime that comes from these cars. Just imagine they took that windshield out. I would not want to be them. That'd be a lot of tear-offs to get rid of. Which, by the way, they do have in the Pro Trucks and the Pro 2 lights and the Super Pro 4s that we've seen before here on PTM Racing TV. Just a little fun fact. Here we go now, down on the final corner to the straightaway they go. Down to the drag race strip. TJ Staver with the lead. A commanding lead over Marcos Palacio and Alexander Botti, but remember they both have not used their jokers up. Palacio may want to think twice about it. Botti trying to get to Palacio as quick as possible. Botti, oh, well, looks like he might have a problem down there. He's got a problem, all right. He got stuck in gear. Transmission failure there for the 369 of Alexander Botti. Could not get it back in gear. Yelling over his radio to his crew, guys, I just lost third gear. Came right into that turn and lost it. Had to try to break it out of there. He does so entirely. And now it's a drag race straight to the finish. Off the final corner, straight to the end by 900 of a second. That's going to be TJ Staver taking down Marcos Palacio to the line. Wow. A great drive off by Palacio, but not enough to take down Staver. So I think I might have to add Palacio into that mix. He might just be a cat you're going to have to watch out for. Botti still can't believe he made that little mistake there, unfortunately, though, costing him precious time. Last chance qualifier coming your way now. But here is your results from that race there. You see it here. Staver, Palacio, Botti, Bruzzo, and Lamb finishing that out. In our final sanctuary before we head to the A-Main, Seth French, Botti, Trenton Briley, Armand Bruzzo, Nicholas Shriver, Nicholas Lamb. Go at it. It's the last chance qualifier now on the track. Begin the countdown. Lights up and down. Hammer down time. Here we go. Oh, entering the first corner. Look at this. Seth French. Oh, my. Hard drive entering that turn. He did not give an inch there. Full send for the number 54. And just like that, now has company right back on the back corner. Here comes the Anime 369. Alexander Botti trying to bring Shonen jump speed and level of ground to the clearance. Maybe trying to drop a gun drop, or whatever they call it. I don't even know. I just ruined that joke. Coming down off the edges, though. I think I call it a gum punch or something. Gundam shot, punch. Yeah, I'm talking about One Piece. The One Piece fans can help me out here, guys. I'm sorry. I'm completely clueless right now on that show. Trying to hang in there and kind of working the way around. Botti got some hang time off that one. You saw that rear end just get completely out from underneath them. Got thrown a whole lot of help there. Seth French, though, in the 54 hanging on to the race lead. No troubles here for him. Nicholas Lamb making a great little drive off here in the number 37. Looks like he wants to try to prove he can still hang with these cats. Armand Rosa way behind the field, way behind the track. Nicholas Shriver trying to stay ahead of Nicholas Lamb. Look at that, enter into the A-Main unscathed. That's not going to happen. Nicholas Shriver hard into the corner. Sends the car sky high, and Armand Bruzzo looking to capitalize on that. Can't quite get to him here. Alexander Botti using his Joker lap up. Now he has taken full control of this race. 3 laps left to go. Now French needs to decide when he uses the Joker. Does he go for the last lap or does he go the next lap? If I was him, I would save it for the last lap. Don't get involved with Botti right now. Worry about him at the drag race section. The sector of the drag end may be your best section to get the most speed, the most ground. We'll see if he commands that and does that so in this last part. Armand Bruzzo, the Ford Fiat, number 911. They're trying to hang in there with Nick Shriver. Nicholas Shriver giving him plenty of options, plenty of room to make a corner back off it. Not giving him any time to think or breathe, just looking for an opening here. Hard jump off there, now Botti lining it back at the 369. The Joker lap was used. Seth French has now taken the race lead away. Botti, I think, maybe a little bit stunned. I think he was thinking the same thing I was. Wait for the last lap. Instead, he goes for it now. Interesting strategy. Will he have time to get to him? French hanging on. We're going to bring him down to the final corner. Now comes drag racing time. If you guys like the NHRA, you're going to get a little bit of it here, just in a different kind of form. Straight to the line. Here we go. White flag in the air. Seth French trying to hold down Botti. Entering off the big hill, uphill power slide. Botti sees he's got a chance. French, though, great drive off. You got a great exit. Now looking to keep that in range. Hey, Poteet taking one to the cone lights. Matter Group lights at it as well. Now right on the back heels of Seth French. French is in trouble. Poteet working to lane his way in. Trying to get as close as he can down to the final corner. French needs a good jump. Poteet with a landing, may be able to get it. Not this time. Seth French will win this one. A great ending and a great conclusion there. Down for Mr. Seth French and Alexander Poteet. Those guys making a great observation and a great run straight to the end. Last chance qualifier is in. And here are the results. Poteet, Riley, Lamb, Shriver, Bruzo, and French. Oh, hold on a minute. Looks like French has been DQ'd. He got a DQ finish off that one. Unfortunately, cut a corner and ended up getting a time stop penalty. He loses all of that, and that will give the win, surprisingly, to Poteet. Riley catches a huge break, and that could mean a lot here in this A main event. Warm-up session is now underway, race fans. 4 minutes left on the clock here, and that's going to give us a chance to kind of talk about this race and talk about our players involved. Well, let's just get to it first here. Heat number 1, we started off there with really with Alexander Ebony and Mr. Luis Nunez just throwing haymakers at one another, trying to see who could get the better of the two. Unfortunately for Ebony, even though his strategy came in pretty concisely and pretty well, I would say, wasn't enough down to knock Nunez there on the final corner on the final leg. So what does that mean exactly for the A main? Well, in my opinion, it's going to be a challenging sector and a challenge battle for who can hang on to the run and who can hang on to the speed that they will have to bring to the table. I think Ebony is going to be at a bit of a disadvantage here in this one, because if Nunez can get out to an early start, I look for him to kind of take this one away again. But for Ebony, I would say more than likely, he honestly has kind of shown that he was not too far from his rig or from his racing ordeals, because he came out here and threw up a heck of a run and a heck of a fight, coming close to knocking down the Spaniard. So, I mean, if anything, the German can actually take one and take a shot or two. It's just a matter of, can he make it work when the time is needed and when he absolutely has to. That will be a big question. For Marcos Palacio in heat number 2, I think it really was telling between him and Poteet that those two were going to go for broke and go for big when they had to in their biggest moments and their biggest leg ups. But for Palacio, he fell victim to currently of his own demise, which is just basically not being able to outwit and outsmart some of the other cats that have been known to take him for a ride or two, and TJ Staver just be able to run off into the distance. That being said, though, I'd say more than anything, I think he can have a drive line, he can have a runoff to keep these guys in check and keep these guys in play. We'll just have to see if that happens here. Seth French as well. You know, even though he had suffered the time penalty there, I think if anything, maybe he has a chance. But I think what he needs to do is time his starts. You saw what he did at the beginning of that heat and the beginning of that last chance qualifier. Sended it in the turn and sent it on around, and managed to take up a lot of positions and actually keep the lead away from Alexander Petit. But now he just needs to kind of put 2 and 2 together and make sure he does not cost himself that finish again, because that's going to be what brings him to the table. A lot of stories at play here, race fans, and a lot going on the track. And with just a mere 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock, it is anybody's guess and anybody's ideals that will take home this big victory here at Sonoma Raceway. Many famed and fortunes, of course, with the Cup Series, but you may not know too well in the NHRA having a big deal here with that drag race strip that they call the finish line there for these rallycross drivers, but also the rallycross end and the overall just scenery of this track and scenery is just absolutely picture perfect and beautiful in the springtime. And you know, even though we're kind of in the sandy pits and sandy grounds, it's still a beautiful track and a beautiful area to be seen and be heard. Part, in my opinion, one of California's crown jewel places to be. 30 seconds left on the clock here, race fans. Time is coming, and the time is here and now. We are ready to see the action spill out onto the track here and see who comes away as the winner and the victor here at Sonoma. But Ebony has one victory over Nunez. Nunez has claimed the rest. Nunez, obviously the points leader right now as well, which kind of sets into the tone. Ebony falling farther and farther back into the points. So Palacio and Poteet, really the two guys to watch out for on that second place run. But TJ Staver could make some noise here getting into that conversation if he so desires. We'll have to see if that is the case here as we now get ready for the URA main event here at Sonoma Raceway. The time has come. Here is your lineup. The first man on the grid, Luis Nunez in the 14. The second, the 15, is TJ Staver. The third man, Alexander Ebony in the 99. The fourth, the 83, Marcos Palacio. And the fifth slot, the 369, Alexander Poteet. The sixth slot is Trenton Briley. The 7th, Nicholas Lamb. And the 37, 8, Nicholas Shriver. And the 41, the 911 of Armand Ruzo. And the number 54, Seth French. Lines up your field. It is time to bring the hammer down. Light 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up, send it down, and bring them drivers with you. Green is out. The time has come here at Sonoma. Entering in the first corner, and Staver making it a little bit difficult for Nunez to get around. Look out for Palacio, though, right into the corner. Palacio making a big mistake off the corner, couldn't get it around. Nunez able to escape from Staver. Staver can't believe Palacio threw it in that deep. And Nunez way too wide of the turn. Staver trying not to bump him out of the way. Nunez got a whole lot of opening there for Staver. That's not something you see Nunez do. That's a big mistake on his part. He cannot keep making that move. He's got to figure out how to get this thing lined back up in place. Palacio really having no control or nowhere to go. He knew what he had to do and go for broke. Now the field will march their way back down the center. Here comes Palacio and the number 83. Taking the lead away from Nunez now. Will he try to make things a little bit more difficult for him? There's trouble down there for Seth French though. Seth French has crashed on the front straightaway. Troubles for the number 54. Here is the PTM instant replay. Had a deep, cold-sided battle there, and him and it looks like Briley there, not agreeing to terms. But unfortunately for French, Briley had nowhere to control that car, got up in the air and landed way too hard on him. Marcos Palacio right now your race leader. Nunez already gained some ground up on him. Remember, Palacio used the Joker up. Nunez has not. That Joker is going to be a very crucial game plan for Nunez now. This is the first time he's going to be challenged again in the spot in the A main. He was challenged in the heat earlier. Used the Joker wisely and made Palacio's drive a little bit harder. And you can see he's already getting right up to him. Wait a minute! Nunez slamming into the wall, entering into the final set of corners. Nunez has wrecked out into the final set of corners here. He has completely wrecked this thing out. What has happened? He had a great drive here. He just undershot the turn. He undershot it, got it too close. Nunez's championship run here of a streak of wins is coming to an end. If he doesn't find a way to get this car back out on the track and get some speed to it. TJ Staver now looking to get back at it with Palacio. Remember, Palacio has used the Joker. Staver has not. A 4.5 second gap between the two. Coinciding. Staver looking to get his first win ever here on PTM Racing TV. What a way to do it. Knock out the Spaniard and then take down Palacio. Palacio literally at the beginning of this race was out of it. He was gone. And now he has a chance to win this out. Nunes looking to get some ground back. Remember, he has not used his Joker either, so this is literally now a chase of cat and mouse. It's a chess game. Which one moves the king? Which one moves the queen? Who is the one that rings the knight? And then who is the one that that sacrifices the pawn? There's only 6 laps left to go here. And now Nicholas Shriver moving into the top 5. Alexander Poteet trying to stick with him. Looking to try to knock down the number 41 camp here. And Shriver will use his Joker up. Poteet straight hard into the corner, just slingshots it, nosediving it back down. That's a bit of a worrisome run there when you do that, but the fact he's able to keep it clear and keep it out of trouble is a pretty good sign there. Look at this now, Trenton Briley and Nick Shriver going out a little bit. Briley trying to hang on. Even though Shriver used his Joker, Briley has not. That could be a factor here, and Briley knows it. That's why he's just trying to stay ahead of Shriver and avoid trouble. Shriver now way too wide in the turn, and with 5 laps to go, leading into the 4 laps now, Palacio is starting to develop and increase the lead. Take a look at the lap times between him and Staver. That fastest lap was set at 41.212. Staver not able to lay down a lap in lap number 2. I don't know if maybe he got himself another penalty there for that. I don't know for sure, but you can see the ground and gain there on Staver, or for Staver over Palacio. Palacio knows he could be in trouble here. Nunes trying to get back at Staver here and Palacio, but he knows that Staver has not used his Joker. So if Staver uses the Joker before him, he's going to have to time it wisely. Time it wisely, time it now. He's got to time it now. Nunes going for it. Down the chute. Entering in the turn. No ground. Staver holds him. Oh, and Staver makes a mistake. Staver overshooting it off the corner there into the carousel. Are you kidding me? Staver, oh my word. He overshot it. He just let the emotions get to him, and he knew he was in trouble. Nunes slowing down, has to serve the penalty. And now Staver back at him. Right to the right side. Puts the benders to him. And now it's Staver moving ahead of Nunes. He's still got his Joker to use. Palacio has already used his up. When does Staver go in? Nunes is now forcing Staver's hand. Oh my word, Nunes now getting a great drive off, trying to keep Staver behind. There's only 2 laps to go. If I was Staver right now, I'd probably get ready to get that Joker out of my hat and out in my hands. He's running out of time, and he knows he is far behind Palacio. He needs Palacio to make a mistake. Alexander Ebony with a little bit of a Joker lap use of his own now, throwing it right up over Nicholas Lamb in the 37. The 99 of Ebony, pretty surprising here that he is back in the back of the pack here, considering literally what he did in his heat up against the heavy hitters. But in this case, right now, the heavy hitter of them all is the 83. Marcos Palacio sees the white flag for the first time in the lead this season. Can he hang on? Staver has used his Joker. It's still 5.5 seconds back. Now knows he needs to put Nunes behind him to try to control the points. Maybe have a chance at it here. Or what left he has of it anyway. Palacio. Final corners. Entering into the final 3 sectors. Sector 1. Here comes 2. Now needs to perform a great right-hander. Send it down to the drag strip. And into the final turns. Marcos Palacio, the Argentinian, will bring it home for Argentina in the 83, and victory lane belongs to him. TJ Staver holds it down for second. Nunes goes third and sends it to the Shadow Realm. Oh my word. Staver knew he had an ultimate shot at winning this one, but comes up short and costs himself dearly. Gives the win to Marcos Palacio. What a performance by the 83, the Argentinian, managing to come back after that eventful crash and start and hang on, taking it home for Argentina as the field right now currently finishes out their race run. My word, race fans, that was absolute pure chaos and joy on the track. Well, while our friend down here and Trenton Briley celebrates a little bit with his first time on the show, it's time to take a look at your final results here. And it is official, no penalty given. The number 1 Marcos Palacio serves the track and serves it well, brings it home for Fish Sport. And in second going to TJ Staver, Luis Nunez bringing home a 3rd spot. 4th, Seth French. Alexander Botti holding on in the top 5, rounding out the top 5 in points position tonight. Trenton Briley, Alexander Ebony, Nicholas Lamb, Armando Bruzzo, and Nicholas Schreiber rounding out the top 10. My word, race fans. What a chaotic race from start to finish. Your finishers are now coming into the stage. Nunez, I believe, will probably not talk with us here. I will see here in just a little bit. We do know now that TJ Staver is now ready to go on the lines. Your second place man coming to us here in the number 15 camp and bringing it home for Subaru. Second place finisher TJ Staver coming away on the podium. And Staver, congratulations on that. I'm going to ask you this real quick. Are you kind of beating yourself over the head a little bit with that carousel turn uphill there?
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I just got too much rotation in the car and spun around. Couldn't get out of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it literally looked like the car kind of reeled itself out and threw itself into the high ground. If that turn did not happen to you, though, do you think maybe Palacio would have had a little bit more company, or this would have been yours in your mind?
I think I might have caught up to him at the end, but me and him are about the same pace, so he might have held me off, but it would have been a good race, that's for sure.
It would have been absolutely. But hey, man, at the end of the day, this was still a fantastic drive and finish for you and this crew. So, with everything that's been said and done here, I mean, who do you want to thank you for that?
I just want to thank my teammate Trenton for finally getting in a rallycross car and coming to join us. Hopefully he does a little bit more.
We certainly
Uh,
hope so.
but yeah, that should be about it.
All right.
Uh, Congratulations to Marcos on his win. He's a good dude. I like Marcos, so congratulations, bro.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, TJ, congratulations on the second place finish here. I know that win is coming eventually here, though, my friend.
Hopefully, hopefully.
All right, Staver, congratulations on a podium tonight, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you for putting on a good show.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, number 15, your second place driver tonight, TJ Staver. And right now, currently waiting the arrival of Marcos Palacio, if he'll join us. He is your race winner tonight. The man out of Argentina, just bringing it home, firing on all cylinders. Came across and drives it to the end here at Sonoma. What a performance by him and his crew. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep that up and keep doing it here more often than not. We'll give him about 2 more minutes here for Nunez and Palacio. I'll just kind of go over the recap of this one, but let's just go back to it here. Marcos Palacio, literally out of the gate, sends it down to the corner like Seth French did earlier in his last chance qualifier. And we talked about it again, was basically, if you could do it, that was the perfect place to get it done at and the perfect drive to run it off from. And at the same time, it was literally anybody's guess, anybody's spot on who was going to take that home. Unfortunately, though, you know, Palacio looked like he completely took a few of himself and some other guys with him, but once he finally dialed it back in and restarted up, it was all Palacio taking full control of the mistakes made by Nunez, Staver, and even Ebony, making it straight to the line. Palacio was able to hold out and bring this one home. And honestly, with Palacio, I think maybe he needs that confidence, he needs that built up, because he still has a few races left in the season. Nunez, though, I guarantee you, will be definitely working on his work and working on his craft as much as Ebony, Staver, and the rest of these awesome drivers will be doing. Race fans, that's really all I'm going to do it here on the show tonight. We cannot thank you enough. We cannot thank you for all your time and efforts you bring to the table. Thank you so much to everyone that came out to the show. Side note as well to my friends at Iowa Speedway. Thank you so much for getting me in and out of that track as quick as you did full props there, but that's the only reason we were able to get live on the show tonight. So if you guys ever listen to this, awesome job covering and getting the show taken care of for the IndyCars. And thank you to Citadel Rallycross for letting us come on to the show again. We thank and appreciate all you fans out there. Sonoma, it has been a blessing, and we have been awesome to be privileged to be here. We'll see you guys next time with a green flag flies.